Yo, what's going on, man? Today is December the 4th, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show where I'm live on Twitter right now. I'm also live on YouTube as well. Do me a favor as you guys join, hit the like button for me, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Tell a friend to tell a friend is what I always say. And let's jump right into it, man. We got a couple games to break down as the in-season elimination portion of the tournament actually starts today. So we got two games today. We also got two games tomorrow as well. So excited to break these two down with you guys, let you guys know how I'm looking at these games. After I do so, I'll pass the mic to anybody else who got looks that they want to share about these two games specifically. Let me just make sure I got the latest injury news pulled up on my screen before we actually get started, because we know how crazy it is, and there are some injury implications for these games today. So real quick, let's just make sure we have that. Then we'll go ahead and get started. You kind of got to refresh this stuff every couple seconds. Honestly, it's crazy. Yeah, I think we got all the latest stuff already. All right, so real quick, recap. I didn't do any weekend shows, but I did give out two plays on Friday, and they went 1-1. I was on what was I on? I was on the Pelicans team total over 124 and a half, I think it was, and they failed to do that. They shot 30% from three against the San Antonio Spurs, which is on the second leg of a back-to-back at that, with the Spurs being on the second leg of a back-to-back. So that was pretty frustrating. I also gave out I can't remember what the winner was, but I gave out a winner as well. And then on Saturday, I gave out two plays also. I was on OKC minus the 3.5 for the YouTube members, and that cash, even though Dallas came all the way back, went on a 30-0 run, which is absolutely insane. But the Pelicans the Thunder were able to rally back and get the win and the cover as well in that game. And then I gave out the Jazz team total under 111.5 early Saturday morning before the line moved down to 109. And it would have cashed had the game not went to overtime. I think it was tied at 106, and that game ends up in overtime because Portland didn't come to play defense until the fourth quarter when they realized they could still win the game. Super frustrating loss there. Those are the ones that really, really hurt. Jazz go on to win the game, of course. Something about the Jazz when they're at home, man. Even though they are terrible, even though they were without Lauri Markkanen and Jordan Clarkson, something about the Jazz when they're at home. Just always find a way to get the job done. So, yeah, probably my most hated team to bet against right now, especially when they're at home. I probably should learn my lesson and stay off, but I'm going to keep trying to fade the Jazz as much as I possibly can. So 1-1 on Friday, 1-1 on Saturday. Of course, we didn't have any NBA yesterday. So let's jump into the games that we have on the schedule for today. First game up, we are going to Indiana. We're going to Indiana where the Celtics will be laying 5.5 points. I want to say it's the most accurate number that I saw. This line should come down just a tad bit once Tyrese Halliburton does get rolled in. For people who don't know, Tyrese Halliburton, he missed the last game against Miami, even though they didn't even really need him against the Miami Heat. They won that game against Miami without Tyrese Halliburton. And he would initially it was some knee pain, and then it also translated into an illness. So Halliburton, knee pain and illness, considered questionable for this game. Spread is 5.5 still. It looks like on all books. Total is up 9 points. It actually opened at 237.5. It's up to 246.5. So what you guys see, matter of fact, let me just update this banner. I hate to not have my stuff updated. This total is all the way up to 246 points. When I made the banner earlier, it was 242 and 242. And I'll tell you guys, I mean, if you've been watching basketball, it's only one way you want to play Pacers games right now. It's to the over. So let me get to my notes real quick in this one, and I'll give you guys my quick breakdown of this game. Should be a super short show, not too much to dive into. The biggest news is the injury news. And outside of Tyrese Halliburton, there are injury implications for Obi Toppin as well in this game. His name popped up on the injury report also. So injury-wise, on the opposite side, you do have Porzingis, who is listed as out. That should be a lot more minutes for somebody like Al Horford tonight. And the Pacers are super soft. They're like mashed potato soft in the middle. So Al Horford should be able to get a lot of what he wants tonight. against this Pacers interior defense. It's kind of interesting because Miles Turner is a pretty good defender when it comes to blocking shots, but he's not really slowing anybody down. The Celtics, the Pacers give up the most points allowed in the paint as well, which was one of the reasons why I was kind of looking at Jason Tatum today, because Tatum actually leads the Celtics in points scored in the paint per game at right, just below 10 points scored in the paint per game. He likes to put the ball on the floor, get by his defender. He gets a lot of and ones, but there's a level of physicality to Tatum's game that he's kind of produced over the last 2 years. Just probably being in the weight room a little bit more in the offseason. So that's one way I was looking at this game. Also, let's looking at the numbers, last 5 game numbers. Boston is the 17th offensive rated team. So their offense is kind of taking a step back. We know that they've been without Porzingis in a couple of those games. Drew Holiday missed some games in the last 5 games as well, even though he's back now. What's remained steady, though, is that Boston is a really good defensive team. They're the 6th best defensive rated team over the last 5 games, and then the 7th best rebounding team. This is where I think the game could get out of hand for the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers, while they are the number 1 rated offensive team in the last 5 games, and throughout a large majority of the season, they do have the 4th worst defense. We know if anybody's watched the Pacer game, they just want to fly up and down the floor. They want to outscore you. They're not really concerned about locking you up. And I think when they get that defensive identity, I think that's when they'll be, a little bit like when they're tired of like scoring a bunch of points and still losing because they've given up more than they've scored. I think that's when you'll see this team really kind of take that leap. But they're the 4th worst rebounding team as well. So 4th worst defense over the last 5 games, 4th worst rebounding team over the last 5 games. Both of these teams are top 12 in pace. And before I get to the pick that I made in this game, I want to say this. Like, I think basketball at this time of the year is not something that we typically can cap motivation for. But I do think in this spot, both of these, I think all the teams that are left, there's 8 teams left. I think all 8 teams are motivated to win the NBA Cup. When you think about it, it's like you're going to be a first ever, right? To hoist this NBA, the inaugural NBA Cup, and they came out with the medals today. You get to go play in Vegas. But yeah, like for the superstars on the team that have the max contracts, I don't think that they necessarily care about the money. But I do think that there's a level of buy-in because they want to see their teammates and their coaching staff, get awarded this extra $500,000. So the Pacers, they've done really well. I posted it on my timeline earlier. The Pacers have done really well. As a dog this season, they've won 5 out of those 3 games. And in the in-season tournament specifically, I vividly remember they went on the road. Well, actually, the first one was at home. In their first home game of the in-season tournament, they actually beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. It was the Cleveland Cavaliers' first game where they had their starting 5. It was Jared Allen first game back, and they beat Jared Allen and their Cleveland Cavalier team. They jumped out on them early. They never looked back in that game. So they won that game as a dog. I think they were like a 2 or 3 point dog in that spot. Then they went on the road in the second of the back-to-back with the Philadelphia 76ers. They lost to the 76ers the first time, but then they beat Philly, which was the tournament game, the second game. So the Pacers, I think, are still undefeated when it comes to in-season tournament play. The Celtics, on the other hand, I don't think, just from my sources and what I've been like listening to and what I've been reading, they weren't necessarily taking the in-season tournament serious. I think it was a lot of guys on their team that was just like, all right, whatever. Like, they didn't really understand it. But going into the game against the Chicago Bulls on last Tuesday or Friday, whenever that game was played, last Tuesday, they started to understand it. They started to understand how many points they needed to score in order to advance. And they kind of got some buy-in, is what I'm being told by let's just say a source close to the team. They want to win this money, right? You think about the top 6 players for this Boston Celtics team: Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. Those guys don't necessarily, like, $500,000 is not going to impact them a lot. $500,000 will impact a guy like Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett, the coaching staff. I know Pritchard got a deal, but I'm not sure when his contract extension kicks in. So I think, there's been a level of buy-in from the Celtics where they want to go win this thing. Like, they really, really do. And if you're telling me that the Celtics are going to play against a team that is, bottom 5 defensively, bottom 5 in rebounding, has a point guard that might be, dealing with a little illness, but more so even than the illness, a knee issue. You need your knees. I don't care how good Tyrese Halliburton has been. To me, it makes me think that Boston should be able to win this game. Covering the 5-point spread on the road, I think that they can, just because Indiana is such a bad defensive team. And you're literally talking about 2 possessions. So as long as it didn't come down to the last shot, this is a game that Indiana will be fouling, to get to the end. Just to try to make the game a little bit longer if they are down in the fourth quarter. So I didn't play the side. I did play the total, but I played the team total. Was waiting for the news about Halliburton getting ruled in. And last night, someone just told me, like, Halliburton's not going to miss this game. So because I thought Halliburton wasn't going to miss the game, I chose to play the Boston Celtics team total specifically over. When I gave it out last night, after looking at the cap, it was 122.5, I think. Now it's up to 125.5. I posted this earlier, but and I was talking to one of my homeboys earlier too, and he was like, that total didn't move, Chris. It didn't move so much. Like, would you still play it? And I was like, yeah, I would. If I was going to play the total, being that it's moved from 237.5 up to 246.5, and that's almost like, full 9 points, almost 10 points, I still would only play it over. The Pacers are 16-2 to the over this season. Those games are averaging 253 points. The Celtics, while they do play at a pretty slow pace, they have been playing a little bit faster. They're top 12 in pace over the last 5 games. So I still feel like this game could get over, and I do think that Indiana can put enough pressure on Boston's defense to where Boston will have to score the ball. So that's how I chose to play it. 2-unit play for me. I did take the Boston Celtics team total over 122.5 last night. As Halliburton gets ruled in, I think that this line comes down from the 5.5 down to 5. I'm seeing it start to pop a little bit now on Circa, on Heritage. So to me, that's how I kind of look at this game. From a player prop perspective, a couple things jump out to me. The first one is I think we talked about this before, but no Kristaps Porzingis means a lot more minutes for Al Horford. Al Horford's going to be matched up on Miles Turner, and I think Miles Turner pulls Al Horford outside the paint. To me, that means there's more rebound opportunities for Jason Tatum, who, like I said, Indiana is a bottom 3, rebounding team in the league. So I do think that Indiana is going to miss shots because Boston, like I said, pretty much top 5 defensive team throughout the entirety of the season. And like I said, I think this game means a lot to them as well. So if I'm looking at a player prop, I really like Tatum rebounds. I know he could get high from, maybe it's his points plus rebounds. I'm pretty sure you're paying a premium on his points just because of pace, just because of how bad, the Indiana Pacers defense is. But Jason Tatum rebound 9.5. I think he finishes games with a double-double, and you can actually get the 9.5 at plus 104 right now. So I like Tatum rebounds in this spot a lot. Also looking at Al Horford, just his production without Kristaps Porzingis, he's going to play a bunch of more minutes. Don't think the book is really caught on. If I'm playing Al Horford, I'm probably taking him in totality just because I'm not sure how he's going to impact the game. I just know that he's going to have a impact on the game. And I know Al Horford's like a year older. He's a little bit slower now. If y'all remember, Al Horford was on that team with Florida, the Gators, with Corey Brewer and Joakim Noah back in like 1913. And they won national championship. But Al Horford, in my estimation, he got enough left in the tank to, really turn it back for one more game, right? Like, we're not asking him to do this on the second leg of a back-to-back. I think he's going to be motivated in this spot as well. And from a competitive standpoint, like, I think all these players are going to be motivated. Like, the other side of the ball, too, I think the Pacers, don't get it twisted. I think the Pacers going to want to win this game, too. Pacers just going to have to learn how to play some defense, and I don't think it's going to come today. So those are my thoughts on the game. If I'm playing a player prop, I'm looking at Jason Tatum over his rebounds. I haven't gotten it yet, but probably will, just because I see it at plus 104 on FanDuel right now. And Al Horford over his points, rebounds, and assists. The line is 22.5. You can get a 21.5 juice, like minus 125, or you can get a 22.5 on FanDuel with a lot less juice. I would play Al Horford over his points, rebounds, and assists, and I would play Jason Tatum over his rebound prop. Those are my 2 favorite props in this game. And like I said, my best bet and what I gave out was Boston Celtics team total over 122.5. Like I said, Pacers giving up 120 points per game, and that's not even to one of the best offensive teams in the league. So I do expect the Celtics to get it going today. I'm not sure where the scoring going to come from. I really didn't try to figure it out. I just played the team total over. Let me go to the comment section real quick. Then we go Pelicans and Kings. Got a lot of thoughts on that game. I'm gonna try to keep them brief, and then I'll get through. We'll get some speakers up. Prolific says, "Yes, sir. We back. Hit the books to hit the books in the head. Let's get it." J Core says, 37 people watching, 10 likes. Let's get them up. Yeah. If you guys are enjoying the show, definitely hit the like button for me. It helps a lot, especially with the algorithm on Twitter, on YouTube. About to create a got a Substack. About to go full-fledged with the Substack as soon as I get a chance, and I'll share that with you guys. For people who don't know what Substack is, it's another really, really great platform. I feel like a lot of handicappers aren't using quite yet. So I want to get some stuff over on Substack as well. But yeah, definitely hit the like button for me. Appreciate you shouting that out, J Core. What's up, Free Minds? Coop says, new layout, Chris in the building. Yeah, man. I had to switch it up a little bit. Who was it? Hendry last week told me I still had NBA playoffs edition. So when I got a free moment, I was like, let me fix it up a little bit, do something different. So yeah, got a new layout. Hopefully you guys like it. Raptors fans, let's get it today, Chris. Had a monster day in the NFL yesterday, looking at trying to replicate it with the NBA today. Yeah, absolutely, Raptors fan. Best of luck to you tonight, man. Navi also sending a reminder. Everyone hit the like and subscribe. Appreciate you for shouting that out, Navi, and for being here, showing the channel as much support as you do. You always pull up on me, man. Appreciate that for sure. Amar says, I've seen Celtics in so many money line parlays, they could easily drop this one on the road. Yeah, they could. Anything can happen. I'm not saying I'm 1,000% sure, and I don't have the Celtics in any kind of money line parlay because I didn't play any money line parlays today. But I don't think the Celtics lose this game today. Could they? Absolutely. I don't know if they do though. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Big Marv says, let's cash, my guy. Absolutely. Zell goes hard, says he likes Al Horford as well. Over the 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He got it at -125 on BetMGM. MK says, what do you think about Sam Hauser over 2.5 threes? I like it. I like Hauser. This is the problem, though. I don't know if people pay attention to this or how much attention is being paid to this. The Pacers actually, they don't give up a lot of points to the three-point line. I want to say they're like one of the teams in the league that like they don't give up a lot of points to the three-point line. The reason why is because if you go in and look at the advanced numbers or some of the miscellaneous stats on NBA.com, they actually allow the most points in the paint in the NBA, and it's not even close. They allow more than the Wizards, and we know Jokic can't jump over a loose leaf sheet of paper. They allow more than Denver. Jokic's not guarding nobody. Little Daniel Gafford, he tried hard, but they giving up 57 points in the paint. The Pacers give up 60 points in the paint. So a lot of the times you're not having to make a lot of threes against the Pacers just because you can get to the rim and put pressure on it's way easier to make a whole bunch of layups or at least get to the free throw line. So I think that's something to take into consideration when you're thinking about, three-pointers made. Now don't get it twisted. Sam Hauser definitely can knock down 3 threes in this game. But let's look at opponent 3-point makes. So Pacers allowing actually the least amount of threes made against them on the season. Teams only making 10, but and they're allowing teams to shoot 40%, which both of those are, the 10 is a minimum, the 40 is actually 40% is actually the worst in the league. Last 5 game stats say that the Indiana Pacers are allowing the second fewest threes at 9.4, but their opponents are shooting 43%. So they got the worst 3-point defense in the league. Could not talk you off, MK. It's a lot of ways for Boston to get busy today. As long as they finish with 123 points tonight, I'm going to be happy. Coop says, leaning Pacers +6. Holly came out and said he's tired of losing. He's tired of being a loser. He wants to win. Yeah, I saw that. Tatum and Brown got to feel the same way, though. They keep losing, too. They lost in the playoffs last year to the Miami Heat, which was considered a dud for them, just because they had got to the finals the year before after beating Milwaukee, but they ended up losing to Golden State. So I think, like I said, I don't think it's a motivational thing from either side, in my estimation. I think both of these teams are extremely motivated to win. JS says, new backdrop, new money. Let's get the week started right. Yeah, absolutely. What's up to my guy Justin for pulling up? Appreciate you being here, Justin. Raptors fan says he liked Halliburton under 10.5 assists today. Boston's defense is too good this year, and they haven't allowed a single point guard to get more than 10 assists on them all year, Chris. Okay. Hey, Hey, take it to the bank then, Raptors man. I saw somebody else say earlier. I forgot where I was reading that they like the Pacers team total to go under just because Boston hasn't getting up 120 points either. So some correlation there with Halliburton to go under assists and Boston and the Pacers to go under their team total. Raptors fan says also Halliburton has only had one game of 10 or more assists against the Celtics in his entire career. Okay. I mean, Halliburton done turned up this year, though. Like, it's a different Halliburton. It's different Holly. Holly got the bag, and he started super performing. So, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I think it's scary to take the under, and I wouldn't enjoy watching the game, like, because I want to see Halliburton get a lot of assists. But, with that knee issue and me not knowing how well he feels, I think I'd stay off of it. But if I had to play it, I probably would look towards the under. I do feel like it's a sharper play on the under for sure. Solo says Chris with the insider info today. I love it. Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'm looking at all kind of angles, trying to find the value to cap these games. I need to know who excited, who not. You know what I mean? Like who trying to play for their teammates, who not. Coop says Drew's a sneaky rebounder as well. Yeah, I was looking at Coop. I was looking at Drew rebounds plus assist line in this one. Didn't get to the window with it, but it is on my short list. So I would agree with that. Yeah, Drew Holiday is a sneaky rebounder. And with no Porzingis, there's more rebounds for the taking. Like everybody should get, a few more rebounders, at least if you're trying hard. Fremont says Pacers going to force them to score because they're going to be up and down the floor. That's the way I see it. I think last Friday or last week when the Pacers were playing against the Heat, I said we should just target the Heat team total to go over because if they're going to keep the game close, they're going to have to score points. They flew over the team total. I think it cashed like the 6-minute mark. So, like I said, Pacers not really caring about defense. They just want to score more than you. They want to score every single chance they get. Fremont said Pacers like the Kentucky Derby on the court. They are. Rob Maddox says, "What do you think? What do you think that first quarter is going to look like scoring wise? I think it's going to be fast paced, man. I think they're going to hit the ground running. Pacers versus Atlanta Hawks almost style, but Atlanta don't play no defense, so maybe not that." Tariq says, "What's up, Chris? 2 tricky games. Like the Pelicans, not sure about game 1. Do you like team total over? I do like the team total over. Yes, sir." Not gonna try to butcher this name. He says, "What do you think of OB under 7.5 points, rebounds, and assists, bro? Love the work you do for the community." So first and foremost, appreciate the shout out, appreciate the love as always. OB is a guy that he's not in the greatest situation as far as scoring the ball today. I'll say that. I don't like that his name popped up on the injury report. I think it could be potentially better ways to attack the slate today from a player prop perspective. But if you love it, don't let nobody talk you off, not even me. Navi says Jaylen Brown over 6 rebounds. Potentially, if he wants to go out there and rebound the ball, Jaylen Brown can jump. If he's not, being lackluster on the from an effort perspective, I do think that his rebound look could be good today. Terrell he said he's looking at Halliburton assist today. He likes Hallie today. Terrell also says if the Celtics are doubling them, I think he can cash the assist ladder. Okay. Scott Wilson said, "Yo, Chris, Boston going over their team total in the first quarter? I would think so. The only way I would play it is over. I'm not playing anything under in this game. Like I said, I only made one play, but I think the first quarter and first half team totals. Boston has been the best first quarter scoring team and the best first half scoring team, I think, throughout the entirety of the season. So if I was going to add something, it probably would be Boston first quarter and first half." Colin says there are going to be boys for the Celtics in this fast-paced matchup. Besides Tatum, do you lean Drew or JB? I would lean more Drew. I think he has a little bit more value without looking at the numbers. Let's see. So rebound prop, Jaylen Brown 5.5 minus 114 on FanDuel, the best number I see. Shout out to Oz Jam as always. Drew Holiday 6.5 rebounds. So actually, it's more value on Jaylen Brown. But Drew Holiday at 6.5 rebounds is plus 100 on FanDuel is the best number. So I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I would need to look a little bit more before I feel like I wanted to give you guys a solid answer there. Drew Holiday getting 7 rebounds is kind of crazy to me, but I guess he has been rebounding the ball. But I would need to look a little bit more into that. Abacai says have strong lean on Brown over 5.5 boys at plus money. Terrell says they haven't played Pacers with Halliburton this year. That's true. He did miss that first game and they got smoked. They lost by 50. Zell says no way I'm taking Holly under out of respect. Yeah, I think Holly went under in his last game too. So yeah, sometimes I'm not taking it. I really want to enjoy this game. I tweeted it out last week. So, I don't really want to take too many unders in this game, especially with the pace going, be what it's gonna be. Bet on JC says Derek White rebounds and assists over 8.5 at -136. But that line being juiced, I would think that one's supposed to go over JC, and he should be in a pretty good spot as well to get that number. B Simmons says Pacers got beat by 50 last time they played the Celtics without Halliburton. I just said that too. They got smoked. They definitely got smoked. Ronald, we're gonna get to this game in a second. He says Herb Jones won still. He has 3 and he had 3 last game and has had one has had one to every has had one to 2 every game this year. Okay, I misread that. Big Marv says, "Hey Chris, what do you think of Al Horford PRA? I like it. Big Marv. If I was playing in points, rebounds, and assists, it would be probably Tatum, and it probably would be Al Horford in this game. I like those a lot." Big N says, "Showing love from Illinois. Let's get some Christmas money right back at you. Appreciate you for pulling up and being here, Big N. Appreciate you for sure. Free Minds, revenge game for the Pacers. They might come out hot. They could, but I can't trust their defense, Fremont. Like sometimes I think it's really just that easy, right? Like, what have you seen from the Pacers that say that they're gonna play enough defense to win this game? Is the way I see it, right? Like I need to see it before I can buy into it. And could they cover? Yeah, they could. I don't think that they're gonna win just because I don't think the defense is good enough. Celtics ranked top 5 and top 10 in offense and defense. Pacers bottom 3. Jay Click says Horford can run with these guys. Small ball, yeah, I think he can run with them. I think he can, Jay Click. And then Raptors fan says Halliburton had 9 assists, 14, and 8 assists against the Celtics last season. That makes me even more confident in taking the under. Could not talk you off. You cap your cap, Raptors fan, and then you take whatever it is that you like, man. You take whatever it is that you like. Do you think Halliburton plays? I think Halliburton absolutely plays in this spot. Even if he's not 100%, I think Halliburton will lace it up. Like, this in-season tournament means a lot to them. Especially them being a younger team, not really having high aspirations. The Pacers, we got to remember, the Pacers not supposed to be this good this year. They started off a lot better than most people thought they would. Vaughn says, "Would love to hear Finesse thoughts on the game." Yeah, I don't even know if Finesse in here. Send him a message, Vaughn. Tell him pull up in the space. Steve says the Celtics have a different roster from last season against Holly. That's true. Bruce Brown points, rebounds, and assists over. Potentially not. I mean, he should be like, especially if we know Halliburton is limited. I do expect him to take over the ball handling duties. Him and TJ McConnell. McConnell's been balling. He balled last game off the bench with that double-double. All right, let's keep going. We can't talk about one game for too long. Let's go to Pelicans and the Kings. So this line, when I wrote it early, when I looked at it yesterday, it was +5. Then when I typed it in earlier today, it was +4. Let me change it because now it's actually down to +3. Money coming in on the Pelicans in this spot. Total is continuing to matriculate up as well. This total was 233 yesterday, 233.5, I think. When I typed it in this morning, it was 237.5. Now it's up to 238.5. This is the game I think goes under. I think this game goes under. But before we get there, let's just talk about it. So, a couple different things I think you got to mention in this game. So the line movement going down from 5 to 3 in favor of the Kings. Money coming in on the Pelicans. I actually agree with that. I went through. I had to write a 1,500-word article or something like that on this game specifically, and it's on OzPedia if you guys want to find it and read it. But I absolutely agree. I just think that a couple different things. So first off, this is a double revenge spot for the Kings. Sometimes the revenge factor can come into play. Other times I feel like it's not, like that warranted, right? I also feel like matchups just sometimes make fights, and it's not a good matchup for the Kings in my estimation. I could be totally wrong. I don't have a cent invested on this game yet, but if I could go back in time, I probably would have bet the +5 yesterday. And here's the reason why. The Pelicans are as healthy as they've been all season, right? They come out, they lay the egg. Well, not even lay the egg because they still end up covering and winning the game by 12 or 13. I think they won the game by 15 the other day. against the San Antonio Spurs. Something in my heart of hearts told me that they weren't going to take that game against the Chicago Bulls the next day serious. So on Saturday, they rest CJ McCollum, which makes sense. You don't want to play him on the second leg of a back-to-back, especially knowing that you got this in-season tournament game coming up. You want your guys to be healthy. So you rest CJ McCollum, you rest Trey Murphy, and then they end up losing to the Bulls. The Bulls have actually been playing a little bit better because they beat the Bucks on Thursday or Friday, and then they beat the Pelicans as well. But you got to think the Pelicans probably wanted to beat the Spurs because that's a interconference matchup. You don't care about playing the Bulls. The Pelicans aren't going to see the Bulls again until the Bulls come to Smoothie King Arena, whenever that is, if they haven't already. I don't even know if they played already. And then they'll never see them again. The Bulls aren't going to the playoffs. There's no revenge factor there. Like, none of that. They don't care about a non-conference game on the second leg of a back-to-back. So it was a bad sandwich spot, and I should have faded the Pelicans in that spot. I do think that they rested CJ McCollum and Trey Murphy because it was both of their first games back, and they didn't want to play them on the second leg of a back-to-back. I also think that they were looking ahead to this spot. So now you got the full squad of you, the Pelicans. You got Trey Murphy back. That's going to be able to stretch the floor. And if anybody who didn't watch those games, the first two games where the Pelicans beat the Sacramento Kings in New Orleans, they just want to get Zion going downhill. Zion has averaged 25.5 points throughout his career. And I want to say like 8 games against the Pelicans, against the Kings. He's averaged 25.5 points in the 2 games so far this season against this team. And he's shooting 60%. So now what do? Do you double Zion? Because if you do, you got shooters. You got Brandon Ingram. You got CJ McCollum. You got Trey Murphy back. Herb Jones good for 1 or 2 a game. So to me, this just feels like, I know it's not the greatest spot for the Pelicans. They did, have a home game back-to-back. They had to travel from New Orleans to Chicago, from Chicago, now fly all the way cross country to play this game, late night game as well, trying to get back into your routine. I think that's one of my only hesitations for being able to play this game. On the opposite side, the Kings been at the crib. This is their 4th straight home game. Looking deeper into this game, I wanted to see, because the Kings had those like 5 games where De'Aaron Fox didn't play because he was out. I don't know if people remember, but they got smoked twice against the Houston Rockets. Those games weren't even close. They lost pretty much every one of those games, I think, outside of the one to the Thunder. They beat the Thunder when I was on the Thunder on a Friday night, like probably 3 weeks ago. So I went in and I looked at the Kings in 6 home games this season with Fox in. So at home, which is where the Kings play best, we know that they're extremely fast-paced, top 10. They shoot the three-point ball well, top 5. But in those 4 home games with Fox in, they're only 4-2 straight up, 3-3 against the spread, 5-1 to the over, and the margin is like 0.0 point something. So to me, that's even more indicative of the Pelicans being able to keep this game close. Going back to the 5-1 to the over in those 6 games that Fox has actually played in, each of their opponent is actually going over their projected team total. So what that's telling me is that the Kings have to score, and if they don't, well, the Kings are just going to try to outscore you. In this situation, given the length that the Pelicans have, I think it presents so many problems. We cashed on, shout out to my guy Munov, we cashed on Sabonis to go under his points in that first matchup when these 2 teams had that head-to-head game in those back-to-back games, because he has a really difficult matchup with Big Valanciunas down there. Last thing I want to mention, the Kings' offensive rating with Fox on the floor, it improves by 9, which means that the Pelicans will have to score as many, a lot of points in this game to win. Looking at the advantage that the Kings have, like I said, they're a good 3-point shooting team. The Pelicans have actually defended the 3-point ball pretty well. I think now that you got that length out there with Brandon Ingram, with Herb Jones, with Jose Alvarado, Najee Marshall back, I like the Pelicans in this spot, man. I like the Pelicans on the money line. I don't think that, they necessarily going to try to go in here and lose the game by 1 or 2. I think they're going to try to win the game. And if it wasn't such a bad travel spot for them, only having that 1-day rest, even though Trey Murphy and CJ McCollum did take that game off, I wanted this team to have like a couple more games underneath their belt where they've had everybody, because players are matriculating back. With Najee Marshall coming back 2 weeks ago, Jose Alvarado came back like maybe 2 games after him. Now you get CJ McCollum back, who's only played in 1 game because he missed the second leg of the back-to-back. or he might only played in 2 games. And now you get Trey Murphy back, who's only played in 1 game. So those are the hesitations. But defensively, I do think that this Pelicans team give this Kings team fits, man. We got to remember, when this team was fully healthy last year with Zion, they were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference before he got hurt around this time of the season last year. So yeah, I heavily lean to the Pelicans. I haven't gotten there yet. Like I said, it's just a spot. It's a spot that I really don't like, but I think you see a motivated Pelicans team in this one. I like the Pelicans on the money line here. Just haven't played it. Also like the under. Real quick, I'll show you guys one thing I was looking at for that under. I think I was looking at since the start of last season. And of course, rotations have changed, yada, yada, yada. But I was looking at the Pelicans with a total that's greater than 235 points. So I'll pull this up real quick and show this to you guys. And then we'll get back into it, and I'll get ready to be quiet and let somebody else talk. So what I have on the screen here, this is Killer Sports. This shows us, let's zoom out a little bit for the people that's watching on YouTube. This shows us the Pelicans as with the total being 235 or higher. We know that this total is up to 239. The Pelicans in this spot right here, you guys can see it. Since the start of last season, 9-2 to the under. That's 82%. Since this game goes under. And you can see how many points they're scoring on average right here. That's 229 points per game in this spot. If you add that they're on the road as well, 0-3 in this spot. 0-3, only scoring 106 points, giving up 115. Those games came against the Pelicans, which I think they were healthy at that point. The Pistons, to kind of throw that one out, and the Lakers. So, yeah, to me, this game, contrarian under in this spot, I wouldn't play the under in the first game, but I think this one goes under. I think I like the Pelicans on the money line. If I had to play one, I think I lean a little bit more towards the under, because I think with the defensive, with the ramifications of this game and both teams trying to get to Vegas, I do think that we see the best defensive match, the best defense that we've seen from both of these teams in this season. So Pelicans also not playing with a lot of pace right now. Their pace is a little bit up than last year, but yeah, I think this game goes under, and I like the Pelicans on the money line. As far as a player prop perspective, my favorite one, I think I would just go back to what we were just looking at. I think I played. Did we just get breaking news? Why is he prop locked up? I think I play Sabonis. Like I said, I don't like the matchup for him. His points, rebounds, and assists is 30. Let me just get the number real quick. I want to say it was 30. Bear with me for 1 second. Let me pull this up. Sabonis, 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I would go under. I think he struggles to score. I also think that, like I said, just the defensive tenacity from this Pelicans team, I think they're going to make it hard for Sabonis tonight, and it's going to have to be a big De'Aaron Fox night. They're going to need those other three-point shooters to be knocking down shots as well. Malik Monk going to have to play well. Maybe look at him in this spot. Obi Toppin got ruled in, and Tyrese Halliburton got ruled in, as expected. That's what I kind of forecasted. I didn't think neither one of those guys was going to miss this game. And let's see what we see. Spreads coming down. You see a 4.5. Total going up. It's all the way up to 247 points now, which is what we kind of expected. So yeah, that's what happened there. Okay, so yeah, those are my thoughts. Let's see what we got in the comment section. If y'all got requests, send them to me. Let me know what y'all thinking. MT says looking for the Pacers to get off to an early lead and live betting Celtics money line, hopefully around -140. That could happen, MT. That could happen. Vaughn says, what do you think about the first half total? I think I'm playing over, Vaughn. Any other totals, first quarter, first half, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, maybe not fourth quarter. I think I'm looking at the totals to go over. I will say this. The Celtics struggled the most in the third quarter. For whatever reason, they let their foot up off the gas in the third quarter. But I don't like to take those pregame. I like to see how the game is flowing and then bet before I give out like a third quarter bet or a second quarter bet. I like to see the flow of the game before, so I can see, if I think a team's going to bounce back versus, betting them early in this spot. Because if the Celtics get up in this game, and they go up, 15 points, 12 points, I wouldn't be as keen with taking them, over in the third quarter. So yeah, Ronald says 3.5 on 3.5 on DK right now. I think he's talking about that line that just moved. What's up to Benny in the chat? Appreciate you being here. Abacott likes CJ McCollum assists over 5.5 at plus 112. He likes Valanciunas rebounds at 9.5 at minus 114. The Valanciunas rebounds prop is probably a really good look. Tariq says he likes the Pelicans straight up tonight on the money line. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I haven't gotten there yet. Jay Click says CJ, as president of Players Association, has been hyping the in-season tournament on his podcast, Pelicans money line. They come to play tonight. I think so too, man. It's hard to win in Sacramento, but Sacramento not playing enough defense for me. I don't think they got enough interior defense to be able to slow down Zion, which is another reason why I kind of like the Pelicans. Like I said, I just don't like the spot. But I do think the Pelicans lost that game against the Bulls because they were looking ahead to this in-season tournament game. And they probably just going out there, going through the motions. It's the Chicago Bulls. They're not really beating anybody. Who cares about that game? Non-conference, second leg of a back-to-back. You're not fully healthy, right? Like, who cares about that game? They care about this game. They do care about this game. Coop says Trey Murphy over 10.5, probably his points, and is over 2.5 threes for plus 130 on FanDuel. He has a good history against the Kings. Granted those games, he was starting in place of Zion, but first game back from injury, he dropped 18. Yeah, I could nitpick with that, Coop, and say he dropped 18 against the Spurs, and the Spurs won the second leg of a back-to-back, but I agree. I absolutely agree with you on Trey Murphy. I just don't trust the Kings' defense, so I would agree with you there. Zell Goes Hard says he took the under 237. Yeah, I see a 238.5 right now, and if it stays that high, I will probably get involved and take the under. Even if it's just a half unit play, just to have some action on that game later tonight. Nabi telling us that Halliburton is rolled in. Burns always coming through with the notifications as well. He says Holly is in. Tariq says Holly is in. B says Pelicans outright tonight. And I called him at plus 1,200 to win the in-season tournament. So we got a lot of love on the Pelicans tonight, man. I thought it was just me. Okay. Yeah, I like the Pelicans tonight, man. I like the Kings and don't necessarily want to fade them, but I do think the Pelicans are a better team right now. Raptors fan said leaning JV, Jonas Valanciunas, points plus rebounds, and going official with Zion over 25.5 points. I could not talk you off, Raptors fan. I like it. Ronald Cox says you like Herb Jones one still? Absolutely. These are the games where if you've been playing a defensive prop because it's a guy that you absolutely love and you think is value on a number, this is when you want to play it. This game will mean more to Herb Jones and his defense than any other game that he's played in this season. So absolutely Herb Jones for one steal, Ron. I don't know what you can get the odds on that if you want to use it as a parlay piece, but yeah, I would play Herb Jones to get a steal. Chase says the threes for the Celtics and Pacers. Yeah, it should be a lot of threes. There. Ace likes CJ McCollum over his 5.5 assists. Middleton threes tomorrow, I'm guessing, over 1.5. KD over 6.5 rebounds for tomorrow. Derek White 1 block. He parlayed all that together for 12-1 odds on FanDuel. Okay, best of luck to you, Ace. Trey Murphy, ladder spot. Love the spot for him. Okay, Trey likes that. Navi says De'Aaron Fox, 35 points at plus 350. Okay, he is back at the crib. I will tell you guys, De'Aaron Fox has struggled in these first two matchups. I think it's because they got a little bit more length. And trust me, don't get it confused. You can't guard De'Aaron Fox. Like he is, probably faster than any other player with the ball in his hands from in the end. He maneuvers in a way that, he can just kind of get around you. He know how to get to his spots. He got everything in his bag: layup, float game, step back, euro, backboard. So I could see, Fox having a bigger game than he's had against them recently. But like I said, something tells me the Pelicans really want this game tonight, and they probably win. Burns says he likes the Pacers at plus 6.5, so you got a good number there. Yamick says best money line for today, none. But I would take the Pelicans. Pelicans would be my best money line. I'm not laying whatever you got to lay with the Pacers in this spot. I mean, with the Celtics, and I do think they win tonight. And then Lingo Wick says like the beam tonight. Kings -3. So we got some varying opinions there. All right, so let's go to the YouTube comment. Let's go to Twitter and see what the guys got for me. If y'all got looks, send me a request. Get up as many people as I possibly can in the next couple minutes before we get off of here, man. Let's go. Who we got? We got Stephen. Stephen up first. The Knicks don't play basketball. My brother got some opinions for us tonight. Stephen, talk to me. What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. By the way, thanks for breakdown. I appreciate that. Was thorough. It feels like Christmas with these in-season tournament games, bro.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So you're right. Knicks don't play tonight, but I got like one look. I was kind of like, my one look is Drew Holiday. I'm gonna go on a limb and go with the rebounds. I'll say plus money is the best kind of money. So it's plus 100 on the 6.5. I was looking at it. He has 7 in his last 4 dating back to last year versus Indy. I love the fact that this is going to be a fast-paced game. No Porzingis there means that there's going to be more rebound opportunities that you outlined. Indy allows the 3rd most boards to guards. And I looked at the games where KP wasn't in there because obviously that's kind of like the whole thing I'm going for here. 3 games without KP, 10, 7, and 5. But the thing I noticed was like it's against like Philly and Chicago, which are slow-paced teams. So you figure like he's going against like this Indy team where it might be a NASCAR pace. I love the rebounding chances in those games was 17, 12, and 10. I just saw Fat Kyle Lowry get 8 last game. So I also looked at Drew like games against teams who play really fast. Like what you do against them. So he had 5 boards in 25 minutes versus the Wizards. 7 earlier this year. There was no Hallie, as you mentioned, but that was 25 minutes against the Pacers. 6 against Charlotte. 8 against Milwaukee. Basically, all those numbers to say is like I think he's getting a 7, but if he doesn't get the 7, I think he's getting a 6. So I'm gonna go on a limb on that. And my long shot looking ahead to tomorrow as well. Shout out to Dreamer, call out Grayson Allen because I kind of put it all together with him and Josh Hart because I think Josh Hart's in an amazing spot tomorrow too. So I took Drew for 8 boards, Hart for 7 boards, and Grayson for 5 boards at 18.36. And because I had pre-workout at the gym, I took Drew for 10 boards. For less units, Hart for 8 boards, and Grayson for 6 boards, and I got 83-67. The big thing, I just look at these games. There was a great podcast with Bill Simmons and Doc Rivers, and Doc Rivers just talked about, like, if he was a coach, he'd be totally into this. He'd be playing his players, like, playoff rotation. So I'm just hoping we get in these games, like, really good, tight games, no blowouts, 35 minutes from the starters, high intensity. So if you get that, I think you can see something where these players are playing up for it. And it's just like a lot of what you see in the playoffs, where it's just like rebounding is like of the utmost importance, possessions of the utmost performance importance. So, yeah, hoping all that comes through, but we'll be seeing.
Okay. Yeah, Stephen got the looks, man. He got a little parlay, a little rebound parlay. I like it, Stephen. Best of luck, bro.
Yes, sir. Josh Hart tomorrow. Take everything.
Josh Hart against the Milwaukee Bucks. I got the Bucks tomorrow. I'm excited for that game too.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's go, Keith. Keith, and then we'll go hustle. What's up, Keith?
Hey, Chris, how you doing? Y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir. You loud and clear, man. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited for tonight, man. It's some good basketball. It's something new, something fresh. And they definitely did a good job with this tournament.
Absolutely.
Be glad with these outcomes. I'm definitely on the same side with you guys. I agree with everything that you're saying. I do think the Pacers do their best to try to cover tonight, but I ultimately think Boston wins. And then in terms for the late game, I don't know if we got the full injury news, but I lean towards the Pelicans if they're fully healthy. I think that's one of the scarier teams in the NBA when they're fully healthy, and I don't think the Kings have an answer. Also, I was looking at their matchup last year from March 6th. The Pelicans did put up a good fight. They kind of just got blown away in the 3rd quarter. They lost by 18. So if it's anything tied at halftime, I'm definitely going to be live betting Zion points in that 3rd quarter because they don't have an answer for him. Yeah, but that's just an early lean. Again, I want to wait till the injury news. But in terms of this Celtic game, I'm looking at threes, man. Against bottom half defenses, the Celtics put up like 50-plus threes against Philly twice. In both those games, PJ Tucker wasn't on the court. He got traded. I know it was a low-scoring game, and then against the Hornets, I think they put up like 37, and against one other team, they're shooting north of their number that they love, 40-plus threes. And I know I looked at that too. The Pacers, they don't give up many attempts, but it's such a yin-yang. Like, they don't allow many makes, but they let a high percentage of shots go in. And you're letting the team that's known in the last 2-3 years, if you let them shoot, if you let them aim for their attempts at threes, they're going to shoot and make them. And I love the narrative of guys needing this $500,000 because they're not on the best of contracts. I love Sam Hauser in this spot, man. And all those games, both those games I mentioned where they shoot north of 50-plus threes, he's made 5 of them. So give me his 2.5 at plus money. That's a beautiful parlay start. I sprinkled his threes made leader. I think he's going to come off the bench and give him havoc. He falls into the category of, I like to call it the Pacers. I don't have a solid name for this. For some reason, they can't guard anyone between 6'6" and 6'8". I don't know what it is. Jeremiah had a great game. He even dished the ball out. If anyone knows, he cashed, I think, his first quarter. He cashed his first quarter assist line for sure, but I think he cashed his assist line in the first half. And if anyone knows Jeremiah Grant, he does not do that. So if he's able to do that, if Butler's able to do that, if Jaime Jaquez can do it, I think a guy that's hungry in this scenario is going to be Sam Hauser. Love his 2.5 at plus money. I did sprinkle his threes made leader at plus 950. I also sprinkled Buddy Hield threes made leader at plus 420. I think this is a great spot. He's been playing very well in the in-season tournament. I think, and then the Celtics kind of struggle against people that come off the bench. Now I know he starts, but it's going to be staggered minutes because they're going to have to keep up. Boston offensive numbers do take a tank when they're on the road. They are number 2 in defense on the road last month, but I believe they're bottom 7 in terms of offensive rating in a month. So I do love to look at rebounds. For that reason, I played Tatum's PRA over 45.5. I got it at minus 110 earlier this morning. I think that's a solid look.
Yeah, I mean, everything you said makes a lot of sense to me. Coop. Keith, I would agree with the Sam Hauser look. I would agree with just the overall analysis, even the stuff that you talked about for the other game as well. Zion points maybe at halftime if that game is close. Another thing, maybe you just wait to see how it goes live. When we and just something to kind of file in your memory banks real quick. When you see these games where it's winner go home, it's really difficult to take an under on a point total for the full game because it's going to be fouling late, right? Like if these games are close, you definitely anticipate teams to be fouling, which sometimes can push that total over. If the game is close. So some of my hesitation with taking the under pregame is, if the Pelicans don't really come out here and play defense from the tip, this game could, potentially get pushed over right towards the end. But I showed you guys the numbers, and I'm probably going to get in on that under, especially if I see it get close to 240. 238.5 is enough for me, honestly, though. So I'm probably going to get in on that 238.5 for that second game.
I just got to give a shout out to my homie because he did some extra work to make sure we got Sam Hauser 3-pointers made. Now it may end in a dead heat, but we've done this in the past. I shouldn't really be saying all this, but I'm saying it. Shout out to bro because he made sure that it's up and available to bet. There's a lot of times where FanDuel will gatekeep these props and not give it to us.
That's a fact.
So I got to give him his flowers. I appreciate it. Let's hopefully make some money tonight. It's all cash.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Keith. Best of luck tonight, bro. All right, let's go Hustle, and then we got Dream as well. What up, Hustle? Talk to me.
Yo, what's the deal?
What up, Hustle? How you doing, bro?
Same, just repeating his name, just trying to go. So cold, But this first game, I see it being like in the Indiana and I know it's two different styles. It could not happen, but I'm just saying I see the quarters going over. So the first quarter is like the total is like 61, and the rest of the quarters are at like 60. I see them all going over 60 in this game. So I'm gonna be on that for the most part live. And in the second game, I feel it's a little disrespectful to the Kings. Everybody taking the Pelicans today, but it's hard to beat the Kings at the cricket, man. Especially if they taking this serious right here, it's really hard to just come in there and just stomp them out like that. One prop that's been hidden for me with the Kings for a while now is Harrison Barnes over 1.5 threes. He's been getting 2 for the most part, at least for like a good stretch. And then if he even gets 2, sometimes I even buy the under at 3 because, man, he'll get 2 in the first half and then he'll just be like 0 for 3 now. But his 2 is usually good money. So they got his 1.5 at plus money to that. So I'm definitely on that. And if you have a book that is allowing first quarter points, his first quarter line is 2.5. It's a little juice that like minus 140, but he normally cashes. He gets at least 3 to 5 points in the first quarter. So, towards that as well. Somebody with the over 1.5, 3, keep an eye to see. To that.
Okay. Hey, best of luck tonight, Hustle. You got some looks, bro. Can you hear me, Hustle?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I said best of luck, man. You got some good looks tonight.
Yeah, man. Best of luck to you too, man. We're gonna see what this in-season tournament turns into. It's the first one. Hopefully, I can hit all mines and maybe even have a sportsbook pay for my tickets to the game.
That's a fact, Hustle. Hey, bro, that's a fact. I'm trying to coordinate with my boys to fly out there too. I'm trying to get out there for Thursday, bro. I'm gonna keep in contact with you because I might end up out there Thursday throughout the weekend too to get out there because I think this is like legendary. It's like once in a lifetime experience for the first ever one. Like, so yeah, we'll see. I'll shoot you a DM, Hustle.
Another thing, man, the Lakers is gonna win the in-season tournament, man. That's just all I want to say.
Okay.
LeBron need this 500,000. Nobody else take home this 500,000.
Said Bron need the 5. Said Bron need the 500,000. Okay. Hey, look.
He don't like Bron is for money, man. Bron is he not just gonna let no money walk. Bron loves this 500, bro. That's why he undefeated in season tournament.
Oh man. Okay. Okay.
Watch out.
Hey, we're gonna see how it goes, Hustle. Appreciate you, man. Hey, real quick before I kick it to Dream, just real quick on this total. It was up to 247. It's back down to 245.5 now. So money coming back in on the under. That's probably sharp money because I know casual betting is not betting the under in this Boston Indiana game. So some buyback on that 247, which is what the total was up to. Let's go, Dream. Dream, what's up, bro? How you?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, you good? What's going on?
Can't complain. Same shit, different day. Some vibes though, man. I got a couple looks, and a couple comments. So, because I'm hearing a lot of people, and I'm just gonna tell y'all what I was telling people on my show. I think we should chill on the point splatters, unless you really just love some shit. But oftentimes with these live markets with FanDuel, you can get the same shit, if not better, in game. So like I was gonna play Hallie 40 tonight at plus 950 this morning. But then I got to thinking, like, if Halliburton, if he start off with 6 points in the first quarter, you can still get that 40 at about 900 or 950. Or if he starts off slow, you can get to 35 at 950. So I just think it's a good opportunity right now to take advantage of these live lines because I do not think they're going to be around this time next year. I kind of like compare it to before I was able to use FanDuel. I see all these tickets on my timeline from years ago with guys, hit plus 30,000s with odds that we'll never see. Jason Tatum 5'3" would be like plus 1,300 type shit. Well, those odds are long gone, and I think that's what's going to happen with these live odds we're seeing this year. So I implore people to take advantage of it. Also with you on the Pels tonight. I ain't put nothing in on them, but I'm with you. I think they win. As one of your commenters said, I watched the CJ McCollum podcast. Just try and get as much info as I can. And that's all he's been talking about. I mean, this dude, you can tell he's the player association rep or the head of the players association. That's all he's talking about. And you got to think, like, they in New Orleans. To me, Sacramento going to Vegas ain't that big of a deal. Yeah, they want to win the tournament. But a trip to Vegas, when you in Sacramento, that ain't shit. When you in New Orleans, a trip across the country in December to go to Vegas, that's much more. That means much more to me. So I like the Pels just for that reason and CJ. But with that being said, blood money best. CJ McCollum, assist leader, plus 650, just put it in. 6 assists and 5 assists in the 2 games that he's been back. Also noticed that his assist line is 5.5, but De'Aaron Fox is 6.5, and they just moved Sabonis up to 7.5. So basically, I just thought I was getting good value because you're projecting him to get, let's just say, 5 assists. You're projecting Fox to get 6. You're projecting Sabonis to get 7. So hey, and 2 of those guys are on the same team. So I just think you're getting good value there with CJ assist leader plus 650 on FanDuel. Just go 2 assists and it'll be the first half before you get to like 2, 4, 6 assists. And last but not least, a 2 steals leg, so plus 1,300 on DraftKings. 2 steals for De'Aaron Fox, 2 steals for Herb Jones, 2 steals for CJ McCollum. Herb Jones basically averages 2 steals this year. De'Aaron Fox averages a steal and a half. But it's a big game, so I can easily see De'Aaron Fox get multiple steals. And CJ McCollum, which is like the sneaky look. So CJ, he's got 2 steals each game that he's been back. He's also got 2 steals in 5 of 8 games this season. So I'll take it. CJ McCollum, 2 steals with those other 2. That's plus 1,300 on DraftKings. That's what I'm on.
Hey, I love that steals parlay, Dream. I love that steals parlay, Dream. I watched Fox. Who cookies did he take the other day? They were playing against the Nuggets. He picked Christian Braun, I think it was, like or Reggie Jackson, like so smooth. Like, did you, bro? It was crazy. I was like, it looked like it was choreographed. Like it looked like it wasn't supposed to happen. And Fox just made that joint look so easy and went down there and got a finger roll. And he's sneaky on the defensive end, man. I think that they can play with a lot of energy. Do you who?
All of them to get 1 steal is plus 130.
Okay. So just those 3 to get 1. Dream, who do you think is the who you think leads the Kings in scoring tonight? And do you think it's value on their points or how many points you projecting them to score?
Oh God, to me it's got to be De'Aaron Fox. And I don't think it's no value. I think his points pop is right where it's supposed to be, but I think there's value on his points if he starts slow. Because I just said this on my stream, like if he can finish with 30 and dead ass have like 12 points going into the 4th, and nobody would be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody would be surprised if he got 4 points in the 1st, 4 points in the 2nd, 4 points in the 3rd, then he just goes stupid in the 4th because that's what he does. That's his MO. So yeah, I think he leads in scoring. I can't really think of probably Malik Monk with the most value. I think Monk gonna get increased minutes because I know Flo was talking about how he felt like the coaches with the rotations, and I kind of feel that. But I think I don't know. Like so this is what I use. Somebody like D'Lo, right? And I heard Nick Wright talk about this. D'Lo, we know he don't play defense that well, and we know in a scenario where it's gonna be a must-win game, quote unquote. Are you gonna risk losing D'Lo, who's playing good this season? You gonna risk kind of losing his confidence because you benching him for an in-season tournament game in the 4th quarter? I don't think we're gonna see playoff shortened rotations because it's December. We haven't even been this season for like a month. So I think you're gonna see this be played like a very important regular season game. I don't think we're gonna get quite playoff rotations, but I think we may get a couple elevated minutes for starters. That's just how I feel.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense to me, Jay. Okay. I was thinking Monk too. I just feel like they're gonna have to have somebody else. Because the way I see it, Dream, I feel like Sabonis, like I said, I don't think Sabonis gonna go crazy tonight. So Fox gonna do his thing as much as he possibly can, but it's gonna be difficult for him with Jose Alvarado in his back pocket, Herb Jones on him as well, which is why I lean towards the Pelicans. And it's gonna have to be somebody else, right? Especially if those guys aren't making threes, the Kevin Huerters of the world, the Keegan Murrays of the world. So yeah, I kind of lean with you. I think I just wanted to get your opinion. I think it's going to be a big. I know he's been hooping, but I don't think there's any reason for him to slow down in this spot here. So I like Monk. This ability to be able to stretch the floor. He a 3-level scorer. He can shoot free throws. I think he's gonna get a lot of minutes in this one tonight, especially if a guy like Kevin Huerter is not shooting the ball well. So we'll see. But I always appreciate Dream. He got a hell of a 3-leg steal parlay that I liked a lot. Mr. Smith on Twitter, I'm gonna just reply to you right now. I see you just tweeted. What's your official play for the night, Chris? I played the Celtics team total over 122.5 last night. Only play that I put in so far. I'm probably gonna add maybe 1 or 2 more, but they'll be smaller plays. That's a 2-unit play. I'm probably gonna put a couple half-unit plays just so I got a little bit more exposure to tonight. But I low key just want to see the games, man. I want to see how hard teams gonna play. Who really motivated? You know, a lot of people can say they're motivated, but who's really motivated? All right, so let's go Betting Monster, and we'll go Tall Black Genius, and we'll get up out of here. Betting Monster, what's going on, my brother? How you doing?
Hey, what's happening, Chris, man? Hey, let's get to some motherfucking cash.
Let's do it, bro. What we liking tonight?
Listen, I can tell you how the city of Indianapolis is feeling tonight. You know, they fired up, man. It's gonna be a sold out crowd, and they ready to go. So this is what I'm on tonight. I think I'm gonna parlay both of them too, because I'm very confident in it. I'm gonna take the points with the Pacers tonight, and I'm on the over. I know a short group that came in and took the under about 20 minutes ago, but I don't care. I'm sticking with the over. Now we know Halliburton question, was up in the air with him, but from what I've been hearing, he's good to go.
Yeah, he good. He good to go. Yep.
Yeah, he's good to go. And we know, a lot of people talk about the Washington Wizards as the worst defensive team in the NBA, but it's not Washington, it's the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you give up 140-something points to the Miami Heat, and then you turn around in the second game, turn around and give up another close to 130 to Miami Heat, you are a very, very bad defensive team. We know both of these teams like to shoot the three ball. If they're hitting the three ball, this total is gonna get up and over with ease. That's what Boston like to do. That's what the Pacers like to do. Even without Halliburton, the Pacers were still able to break over 100 in that previous matchup, and that total got up and over. Now Boston took it over majority because they put up the 155, but still without the Pacers' best player, they still struck the 104 points. These are just two teams, man. These are just two teams that like to shoot. Now we know Boston want to be more a defensive team, but the thing is, I'm not concerned about what Boston. My focus is here with the Pacers. I know that the Pacers is going to give up points. That's what they're going to do, and I think the only way the Pacers can cover the spread is they need to be in a running gun with Boston. And when we go back and look at the Pacers, just previous matchups, we know. I mean, they had the highest total so far this year when they played Atlanta, and they went over 300 in regulation. Then they turned around, they gave up 132 to a Toronto Raptors team that we all know is not a powerful offensive team. And like I said, in back-to-back games, you gave up almost 300 to Miami Heat. And in the first matchup, Bam didn't even play in the second half. This team is terrible on defense. There's no way I would play an under in this spot. They're going to be hyped up. I think this game is going to mean more to the Pacers than the Boston. Boston focus is winning the national championship. Pacers know that they're not going to win one. This is on their home arena. And with Halliburton in there, I look for Bruce Brown to have a better game than he had the last game. I think he only scored maybe 2 or 3 points. I think the Pacers rock and roll right here. I think this is a fast tempo game, up and down scoring. And, I'm on the Pacers plus the points and the over.
Okay. Hey, best of luck tonight, Betty Monster.
My man, appreciate you.
Absolutely. Let's go Tall Black Genius, and then I'll be remiss without getting my guy Vanessa up. So Vanessa gonna close this out. What's up, Tall Black Genius? Talk to me, my brother.
Yo, ChrisBeCappinn, what up? It's the Tall Black Genius, man. We're doing it for the home team tonight. Upstate New York, Rochester, New York to be exact. So I got to bet on the Rochester Royals, the Sacramento Kings, man. Here's the bet tonight, Chris, especially when we're looking at the in-season tournament. I think that certain teams are thinking that this is important. A great win tonight could lead them to go against one of the greatest teams in the NBA. So some underdogs, I think they will compete to be competitive. I think they'll ball hard tonight, head-to-head. But we do have to pay attention to the seeding of these teams, Chris. So now I'm looking at the 2 seed today, Sacramento Kings, to win this game, a 3-point spread. I'm going to have to take the Sacramento Kings today. And Chris, you know me, I love the X Factor players. So you're right on point when we're talking about my former Laker, Malik Monk, okay? And if you know, Chris, I like to play milestones. If Malik Monk hits 4 threes tonight, he'll achieve 700 career regular season 3-pointers. Malik Monk, 4 threes is plus 310. Okay, Chris, they have Malik Monk at 15 points, even money. But if we take Malik Monk for 20 points tonight, he'll be plus 310. Great value. X Factor player. Is he coming off the bench? Will he be that sixth man role? I think Malik Monk is going to shine tonight. I will stay away from the Boston Celtics versus the Indiana Pacers because the Pacers are the home team, great developing roster, the return of a legendary coach. But also, if Boston loses this away game, I mean, it won't really mess up their perfect home record, right? So the storyline for Boston may still continue to be great. But I think tonight the Pacers could maybe be the underdog spot. Chris, right now you have to go get it plus 550. LA Lakers for the in-season champion. But tonight, Chris, we're playing Sacramento Kings for the win. Malik Monk over 15.5 points.
Okay. Malik Monk, 15.5 points. Okay.
You got to sprinkle on the 4 threes, Chris.
And
700
And the 4 threes. Okay. And the 4 threes. Okay. Okay. Hey, Tall Black Genius, I appreciate you sharing the info and the insight, man. Love the milestone looks that you be playing all the time, man. Best of luck tonight. Let's go, Finesse. Take us home, Finesse. What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
What's up, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. You actually were requested earlier in the YouTube comment section. I'd love to know Finesse's thoughts on this Celtics game tonight. So talk to us, Finesse. You got the final word.
Yeah, I appreciate that person. I got it here very late. I wanted to get thoughts on this 2-game slate. Very interesting. Obviously, in-season tournament. We'll start with the Celtics. Line is very weird to me. Obviously, we smacked them up earlier in the year. So I know it's a road game, but only laying 5.5 seems a little bit weird. It seems short, but the books know what they're doing. So all right. So we're gonna Jason Tatum. We're gonna roll with him. I got to the line a little bit late, so I paired 30 plus points for Jason Tatum with 2 plus threes. Every single time this year and every single time last year, he scored 30 points. He also nailed 2 threes. So I think 2 threes obviously a decent enough pairing. That's minus 110 on DraftKings. I played Jason Tatum 35 plus and 4 plus threes at plus 305, and then a little Tatum SGP. Tatum 40 plus, 5 plus threes, and 8 plus rebounds. Like I said, semifinals in the in-season tournament, playoff type of atmosphere. And it's become really evident that the tournament means something to these players and to coaches. Shorter rotations, heavier minutes for starters, I expect. And very few people I trust more in these type of spots than JT, one of the best players in the NBA. He's dominated the Pacers recently, dominates in road wins as well. Obviously, just said, Boston minus 5.5, so expected to win a game. Pacers have been soft versus power forwards, especially ones that can shoot. And Tatum is kind of entrenched in that power forward role, especially with no KP. Pacers aren't allowing a ton of threes, but they're still allowing opponents to shoot 40% from 3 this year. Tatum is averaging nearly 9 3-pointers, 3-point attempts per game, and I expect him to, jack up threes no matter what. I expect the volume to be there no matter what, and no matter who the opponent is. Pacers are also allowing the most free throw attempts over the last 7 games, which I think is very important, especially for Tatum. I look for Tatum to kind of force the issue against a very weak Pacers defense and kind of live at the line. Game total 240, climbing last time I checked it. And I think the Pacers could keep this game fairly competitive enough, especially getting ran out of the gym last time they played the Celtics. So, Tatum plays 38 plus minutes. I think, he has a decent enough chance to cash all of these things, even a plus 1,200. So, I just look for Tatum to beat Tatum and, playoff kind of intensity against a team that's going to be a pace-up spot, no defense and no KP just gives more shots to go around. DW has stepped up a lot past couple games, but I expect Tatum to be Tatum. And then couple of leans in this game. I couldn't really DW rebounds and assists and Drew Holiday rebounds and assists. I couldn't pick one, so I just kind of laid off. I leaned over 8.5 rebounds and assists for DW. For Derek White, if you can still get that number, but that's just a lean. Moving on to the next game. Jonas Valanciunas, I've had a lot of luck backing him last season, this season. I apologize if these spots already got talked about, but, I came in late.
Over 24.5 PRA for Jonas Valanciunas. This one is pretty simple for me. He's dominated the matchup versus the Kings. He's dominated the matchup versus Sabonis. I'm seeing, BI is very, very public today. I see some people on Zion as well. I see some people on CJ. But BI is mainly the one that's very, very public. So I like a pivot to Jonas. I think he's going to eat on the boards. He's averaging a ton of rebound chances, converting them at a high clip, at an elite clip. So, if he can get us 11, 12 rebounds, he's usually good for about 2 or 3 assists. Usually good for about 2 or 3 assists. I think he can get to double-digit points to cash us out on this. So very low line. I expected around 26.5 PRA, so I'll take 24.5 all day, every day. I wanted to take both big men. I wanted to take Sabonis PRA as well, but I don't know. That's very rare for me taking two players in the same game, especially at the same position. But something I'm thinking about, so I may play Sabonis. But yeah, just gonna 2-game slate. Just gonna be heavy on JT, heavy on Jonas, and hopefully you get the job done. So yeah, should be interesting. Again, I missed what everybody had to say, but I'm sure it was some smart shit. And hope you guys cash tickets. And yeah, it should be an exciting night. Even though it's 2 games, it should be exciting. So yeah, I appreciate you, Chris.
Absolutely, Finesse. Before you drop, let me ask you this: What are your leans on the spread? Do you think Indiana can keep it within 4.5 now, with Halliburton being ruled back in? What do you think about the total? Say it again.
They dropped the 4.5.
Yeah, just dropped the 4. Well, it's actually 4 on some books as well. Circle got a 4, South Point got a 4. So Halliburton getting rolled in, they drop it, 1.5. Even though we he's going to play, we still don't know whether he's 100% or not with the the knee injury and the illness. But 4.5, you laying or you taking Finesse, and what about Pelicans and the Kings? What like that's a 1 possession game. Who you think wins? Because I'm pretty sure whoever wins probably covers the spread in that one too.
Yeah, starting with the Celtics, like I said before, I was thinking about playing the Celtics earlier. Now that the line has dropped, it makes it even more enticing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very funky number. I think the public is going to say, "Oh yeah, Celtics can." We beat the shit out of them in the first game. Celtics can for sure cover the 4. So I think it's going to be relatively public, but I do think we win and cover. Defense is always what I look at to be the separating factor. Pacers are going to play none of it.
Mm-hmm.
Boston, I think Pacers can keep it competitive enough for people to cash props and, for it to be an exciting game through maybe even 3 quarters. But yeah, I think the defense is going to be what matters. So, another interesting thing about Halliburton, no player has gone double-digit assists against Boston this year.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said that earlier. Yep.
His assist prop is 10.5. I was leaning towards the under, but I'm gonna feel silly as fuck if he got 11 assists through 3 quarters. But yeah, I think that's really interesting, and I think that lends to us being able to play individual defense and team defense even without KP. All throughout our lineup is stacked defensively, so it's going to be a high scoring game, probably no matter what, a pace up game. But I do think the Celtics win and cover. I think it's important to us. I really do. We've reached the finals and I've had a lot of success the past couple of years, but still think it's important for us. These bench players getting $500K for winning this tournament. That could be a lot for them. So I think we're motivated. Watching them play in this season tournament games. We're playing lockdown defense. We're moving the ball well, executing offensively. So yeah, 4. I think it's a really good number for us to cover. I might end up playing that. Kings and Pels. I really have no read on. I don't want to say anything and somebody kind of jump on it. I would lean the Pelicans. Like you said, I'm seeing 3s, 3.5s. I would lean Pelicans. They're fully healthy now. I think CJ makes a world of difference offensively and defensively. He's not a lifetime defender, but I think he makes a difference defensively as well in terms of the team defense. So I would lean the Pels for the same reasons. I think they're going to play more defense, and that's usually the team I lean towards in the closest spread. So, but definitely more, compelled in terms of taking Boston to win and cover. So, yeah, I think we do it, and I think we in the finals, and whoever we meet in the finals, we're going to absolutely spank the fuck out of them, and we're going to be in-season champs, and, I can celebrate that. I don't got a trophy to celebrate from last year. We can celebrate that. And, it should be a great night today, tomorrow. Both should be amazing nights.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Finesse. Your thoughts on my thoughts, bro. I think Celtics get it done and cover the short number as well. Not buying the hype just because Halliburton back, especially not being 100%, Obi Toppin not being 100%. Understanding that Porzingis is out, but I think the Celtics can still get it done. Al Horford can turn back the hands of time. So I do lean y'all to cover that short spread. Just defensively is what I hang my hat on as well. If I'm laying points, especially with a road team, I think it's all about, what they're able to do. So maybe I end up getting there, probably not, but I definitely want to watch it. I am on the total, Finesse. That's what I played. I played the y'all team total over 122.5 yesterday.
Yesterday, was it now?
125, I think is what it went up to. But this was last. I think I sent this out last night at like 11:30, maybe something like that. But because I figured the total would go up with Halliburton getting back in, and the way I see it is, like their offense is good, and they'll push y'all to score more points, especially with Halliburton playing. I figured he wouldn't miss this game, being that it's the biggest game of his career, honestly. So yeah, I feel like they'll push y'all to score. They play fast paced. Y'all can score as many points as y'all want. And they've been giving up 120 anyway to defenses that, the offenses that aren't as potent as y'all. So that's the only play I played so far today, but I do lean y'all to cover the short spread as well. I'll stay off of that just because I did play the team total to go over, and I think that correlates well. And like you said, I really want to get down the Pelicans. I did an article yesterday when it was 5 and didn't even take it. And I still think that they win the game though, and you just take them on the money line, honestly. But I haven't gotten there yet, and if I do, I will. I'll let you guys know. But those are my thoughts. Also, as far as player props, like I said, Al Horford, man, turn back the hands of time. Al tonight with no Porzingis in there, and that's a very soft defense for the Indiana Pacers, especially in the middle. I talked about them allowing the most points in the paint at 60. I think Al Horford can have a day-to-day. I would play his points, rebounds, and assists to go over the 21.5. Also lean towards Tatum to go over his rebounds. Indiana is a bottom 5 rebounding team in the league, and with Al Horford, probably guarding Miles Turner in this spot, I think he just pulls him away from the rim. More rebounds for Tatum, so I play Tatum double-double, or play his rebounds at +9 and 9.5 at +104 on FanDuel. In late game, like I said, it's been a bad matchup for Sabonis. His under 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists in that game is my favorite look. If I'm playing any props in that game, I think Valanciunas goes under 37.5, and they really lean on Fox a lot in this spot. Finesse, I saw your hand go back up, so I'm gonna kick it back to you, and we're done.
No, I was just gonna say that the JT double-double if 9.5 rebounds, more juice to play the double-double. It was -110 when I looked at it. I was gonna say that, but you mentioned that's a great look.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I think you said -110 for the double-double. I didn't even check the double-double. I know the rebounds was 9.5 though, and I do expect them to be able to get 10 rebounds in this game. I think Boston plays a little bit more defense than what people are expecting in this spot, and they really want to win the game. Like I said as well, people thought that Boston didn't want to win this in-season tournament. I'm of the mindset, and I could be wrong. I'm of the mindset that Boston absolutely wants to win this in-season tournament. So we'll see how it goes, man. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll break down the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns, and then we also got the New York Knickerbockers heading to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks as well. So best of luck to you guys tonight. Only one official play for me right now. If I drop anything else, it will be in the YouTube membership group section. You guys can get access to that for $5.99 a month if you want. Shoot me a DM on Twitter, or just leave it in the comment section if you guys want access to that link. $5.99 a month. It's also included in the description on YouTube, in the YouTube video as well. So best of luck to everybody tonight, man. I hope you guys make some cash, but more so than anything, just enjoy the games, man. This is once in a lifetime basketball that we're getting in the month of early December as well. So best of luck to everybody tonight, man. I'll be back tomorrow.